Good to go.
Perfect. So hi guys, again, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Anna Montenegro. I currently work for Neural Brands on the graphic design part, and I am currently working on most of the packaging. Currently an Oster brand, but for 5 years I did a lot of the writing brands such as Sharpie, Prismacolor, and Papermate. I really enjoy them. Like I said, I love doing all of their illustrations and a lot of their packaging and hand lettering things for Prismacolor and Sharpie. I hope you guys enjoy this class. It'll be the basics and the beginner class for hand lettering. I will go through some tips and tricks, and then feel free also to stop me at any chance that you have or might have questions. I can always answer. For right now, please don't be afraid of anything. Because like I said, hand lettering, even though it's intimidating, you can basically, you'll learn that you can develop anything you want from your hand lettering style as you go on. And then also, it's pretty simple and easy. Like I said, just quick follow me, and if you have any questions, go ahead. Don't forget to also join into our other classes. Our one class is October 5th, and that'll be our Sharpie ceramic watercolor coloring for coasters. That'll be super fun. It'll be led by Jonathan. If you don't know, you probably saw his class maybe for the tie-dye class, and that was amazing. So again, this class will be super spectacular, so don't miss it, October 5th. At the end of your class, also, if you want to post your work, it'll be amazing. Just go at Sharpie #MakeItWithMichaels, and then feel free to post any of your work that you're proud of doing today. For this class, we will be using your Papermate #2 pencils. If you do not have these, don't worry. You can always use a pencil like this, mechanical pencil. It's fine. You can use an eraser. I will be using the white pearl. If you do not have white pearl, you can use any other eraser and it will work fine. I will also be using my Papermate Flair, and I'll be using my Sharpies. If you can, feel free to use whatever color you want. It's not a big deal. I will be using probably my pinks and my blacks, but like I said, any color is welcome. Also, I will be using this grid or dotted paper. If you do not have that style of paper, don't worry. You can always just use white paper, grit paper, line paper, any paper you have on hand, and it'll be amazing. So I'll go ahead and get started. So for our class today, our end result will be doing something like this. I chose one of my favorite quotes that I say every day to myself. It says, "Trust yourself," because in everything that you do, and even like in this class, I want you guys to trust yourself and just keep doing and trying and never give up, because I just really, really, really encourage you to trust yourself in doing this. And like I said, think of this more of like an illustration type of thing and something that you enjoy drawing. Like, don't think of it as a crazy calligraphy because it's not it. It's just more of like something that will help you like meditate and calm you and have fun with it. And at the end of the day, everybody, you will find that you will develop your own skill set. So that is one of the main things I tell everyone. Like, every time you keep practicing, you'll find different ways of doing lettering. So just enjoy. All right, so I'm going to start. First things first, I like to give you the first tip is always, I use my pencil for basic, and I will have you guys do 2 different lines. And then this one will go down, and this one will go up. All right, and then I'm going to grab my marker. And for you guys to get used to hand lettering, it is important to know the type of pressure you're gonna put. Like you see your Sharpies obviously have a little bit of a tip, but then also they're kind of brush looking. So what I would do honestly is, so when you're going down, it's important to know like you're putting pressure, like it's, let's see there, because it's kind of like your brush, like it's a brush stroke. But when you're going up, you want to always kind of just go like kind of light, like you're using a light pencil. And that's important just because you'll see on some of the letterings that I will be doing, you will find how, like, again, I want you guys to repeat, just go down and then go up. It doesn't matter like how you do your lines, just like when you're going up, you're going slightly slow, but when you're going down, it's a harsh stroke. All right. I hope you guys feels comfortable with that. Second, please grab another sheet of paper that you have or continue going on your same one. And what I will have you do is do some lines. It doesn't, you can use a ruler, not use a ruler. Do a few lines, and then I'm going to walk you guys through a little bit of the alphabet so you guys can see how the strokes are applied when you have the letters. So first, use your pencil because that'll help you. And then go A. And then you'll want to go. And you can see that I lift my my pencil, and I want you guys to apply that as well when you're using your Sharpie brush markers, because it'll help you with the amount of pressure and strokes that you put. So you can see I'm kind of doing a little bit of kind of flourishes and things to my letters. That is so when I start writing, I am able to connect my letters once I have a word or phrase that I would want to be writing.
Hey, Anna, we had a question come through. Somebody asked if they could use graph paper instead of the grid paper that you're using to learn how to write this.
Yes, you can use any type of paper you like as long as you just follow the steps, and then you'll be able to do it really quickly.
And then do you mind just moving the paper a little bit more into frame so we can see those letters in the top corner as well? Thank you.
Yep.
We also had somebody ask, we know you're right-handed, but do you have any tips for left-handed people?
Yeah, honestly, just apply the same amount of pressure like you will, and just keep making sure that your downstrokes are always like using a brush, and then your strokes that go up are always light. But honestly, like it should be the same transition. All right, so now that I have it, don't be afraid to kind of just go over in your pencil and not being able to erase, because this is just like your practice. I will let you know that when we do the other portion, I will have you guys go a little lighter on the pencil, but I wanted you guys to be able to see my wording. So then, like I said, downstrokes will always be very, very kind of thick. And then when you If you want to do an easier transition to how to go up, you would want to go kind of just a little light and then go like this. Can you see the different transition?
And I'm not sure if it's possible, but are you able to lift your camera up a little bit more so we can get the full view of the paper? We're having some people struggling to see. Perfect. I think that should, oh.
Are you able to see now?
Perfect, thank you.
Great. Okay, so then we'll go again, and as we're going down, we're gonna have that thick, like I said, thick stroke. Right here as well. We're gonna go up in this one. So you can see it's important for beginners to kind of just like put the pressure as you're going down, lift your marker as you're going up to have that easier transition.
And we've had a few people ask if you could show a lowercase b as well.
Yeah. It's kind of like the same thing, but you break it. You can break it into, I'm breaking it in two parts so you guys can see. But you'll go like this for the heart stroke. You'll continue going like this. And then notice how my my marker will get a little lighter. I will say, I do recommend kind of just like I've been saying, just kind of lifting, like end like here. And then to do your little flourish, you'll just apply less pressure.
And we had someone ask, how do you know if you should go up or down for your stroke, or is it just personal preference to change up the look?
No, so when I'm writing, and usually how I, when I'm doing the M or the letter, I'll have, you can see on your pencil that you're going down, and then you can see when you're going up. So I kind of like to think of it as like having arrows on my M, for example, and then I'll start doing this, and this will help me also, if you're a beginner, kind of just like know where your lines should go. So like I said, M, for example, the letter M, when I do it, I'm going down. And then as I'm drawing it, I'm going up. Then I'm going down again. I'm going up. And then I'm going down again. So I like to think of it like that. Every time you put your pencil, and the way you're writing it is how you're going to apply the amount of pressure. Does that answer the question?
Yes, thank you. And if you don't mind just bringing your paper down a little bit lower, we're missing that top line. Otherwise, sorry. Yep, thank you so much.
Great. So then for this one, you'll go down and then lift your marker. And as you're going up, you use it slowly. And then here, you're going down again. So you'll have that. So go down, go up, light, and apply pressure. Lift it, lift your marker, and then go slightly. And then for this one, I'm gonna try to do it light, so I'm gonna go up. I will say, like, on the little kind of like loops of the words or the letters, I like to, depending on how small the letter is, usually I do pick if I want to go up or if I want to go down, applying pressure on the little loop. Just depends on how thick I want it to be. So that is kind of preference. How are you guys doing? Do you guys have any more questions or anything you would like me to do that will help you?
Some people have just asked if you hold the pen in any different way when you're doing the different strokes. And then do you just recommend using the pencil first to get a good idea of what you want your letters to look like?
Yeah, I would recommend using the pencil first. And like I said, everybody has a different type of writing your letters and words, and it's okay because this is your own unique design. So yeah, just don't be afraid and use the pencil. The pencil will give you kind of like an idea. So when you're writing it, you'll find yourself doing, oh, I'm going down, and then I'm kind of going up on this one, and then I'm going down here to do it. So that'll help you determine your strokes as well. Do you guys know when the Sharpie Ultrafine markers first came out by any chance? Trivia question.
We're getting some guesses: 1972, 1983, 1970, so 1970s and 1980s.
Okay, whoever said 1983 is close. You want to try again?
We're getting 1982, 1984, 1985, pretty much all of the 1980 guesses.
So 1989. Can people tell me where you guys are from and why are you interested in the class? Any special thing that you guys are doing or just learning?
We have people from all over: Florida, New York, Maryland, Argentina, Virginia, Texas. A lot of people just here to learn about brush lettering. They just really like Sharpies, people that are using them to make cards, improve how their planner is going to look. So getting fancy with that. Yeah.
That's so awesome. I'm so excited that you guys joined the class. And hopefully this does help you out. Is everybody okay to move on from the small letters and go to capital letters?
Everybody's saying yes.
Great. So you'll do the same thing. Grab another sheet of paper or continue, like I said, on your same page and do the same thing. We'll do some lines. And again, they don't have to be perfect. Feel free. And then we'll start illustrating. So for capital letters.
And sorry, really quickly, Anna, if you don't mind just centering the sheet of paper in the frame. Perfect. Thank you.
Great. Okay, for capital letters, it's the same, kind of applying the same rules as well. Just when you're going up, it'll be very thin, but then when you're going down, you'll have the thick strokes. And we'll start again with pencil just to give you kind of like the feeling of being fluid in the letter. And then just to give you the idea of what you're doing, whether you're going up or whether you're going down. So then when you hold the Sharpie brush, you will know what you're basically gonna do. So for the A, we'll start by going up and then we'll go down. On capital letters, I do tend to go a little bit down my line just because you'll see that once you start writing different words, you'll play with how, like, you can play with the shape, and or sometimes it just creates a little bit like a zigzag, and it just gives it like a different feeling and more playful feeling when you're doing the hand lettering. You guys still see my screen?
Yes. It may get lost in the corner if you go too far, but for right now, we can see everything.
Okay, it just had a glitch on my side, and I wanted to make sure you guys were following. So for just to feel very easy, for most of all, I feel like if you've done cursive writing, you'll find this kind of a little bit smoother. And if not, this is the practice for y'all.
We had someone ask if the letter G is written the same in capital as in lowercase.
Right.
Or if there's a different uppercase.
There is different versions and different ways you can do it. I personally love doing the G like that, but you can also do it like this and apply a flourish or anything you basically want. But I really love my G like this, so this is just kind of like a personal preference. And I will say, because it's it's a good transition from your lowercase lettering, it's just a good way of practicing for a beginner. Once you get more advanced, there is different books and videos that you guys can watch, and it'll show you like very elevated letters. Okay, so now that I'm done, I basically will go again with my Sharpie brush, and same tips. Going up will be very light, and then when we go down, we'll apply the pressure. And then you can decide if you want to do the little embellishment of the letter, either thick or thin. I personally like to do it thin, just because it gives a little bit more of dynamic to my lettering. But personal preference, however, if you want to apply pressure on the embellishment, go ahead. If you don't, like I said, go thin. So we're going up, then we're going down on the B, and it'll be thick. We're going to go down again here, and it'll be thick, and down again here. So think of it like you're painting. That's the best way I describe this. And also, when you're getting to the part where you're going to go up, lift your marker just a little bit, so then you can have a really thin kind of point, and then it'll allow you to kind of just go around and up and have that thin line. So while we're doing this, I'll have another trivia question for you guys. What is the home of Sharpie?
We're getting a few guesses: Ohio, Spain, Atlanta, Tennessee, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Oregon, and California.
A little bit more. You guys got to guess. How about it starts with an S?
We have waiting for some guesses to come in: South Carolina, Singapore, Savannah, Syracuse, San Francisco, and Sweden.
Hey, Shell, and I'm gonna say that, and then you guys can make the other part.
And we've had a few people guess Shelbyville, Tennessee.
Yes. What is your favorite Sharpie marker to use?
We've gotten king size black, the Sharpie fine, metallics, ultra fine, a lot of ultra fines. Somebody just said blue, so they like all blue Sharpies. A lot of fine point, and the Sharpie pen.
Awesome. Sharpie pen is one of my favorites. If you like Sharpie pen, you should try the gel pens that just came out. They're amazing. How are you guys feeling with the application of the letters and the different strokes that you're doing? Are you guys feeling that it's getting a little bit easier? Or are you guys still having a little bit of trouble?
We've had a few people ask if you could go through the difference between the I and the T, or if there's any way to show different ways to write those.
Right. So those are pretty similar. And depending on how I'm using on the word, I sometimes will do the capital T with something like this. So it has a little flourish. Sometimes on the I can go and add a little flourish, go straight down and add the I. It just depends on what word you're writing and what you want to kind of achieve, whether it's kind of like how it feels better connecting the word, I would say.
And then we've had a few people that are still just kind of struggling with that up and down stroke. So I know you started with showing the downstroke and the upstroke, but would you mind going through that one more time for everyone?
No, that's perfect. I can go through it as people are doing this. So when I think of when I'm writing it, usually, so you can see the way I write it, I'll go like this, and then I go down. So I always think like using arrows sometimes helps to determine your thickness. So going up, it's always thin, and then going down, it'll be thick. So again, going down, I'm going down, and I'm going down. So this one, and then my little flourish or embellishment here is going down or up depending on what your preference is. So either way will work on this one. And here on the C, I'm going up here. So that'll be.
And do you mind moving the paper down just a little bit? Sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I like to think of it like that, always just kind of like thin, going up, thin. And it will help you to kind of just do these arrows. So you can see you're up, and that's how you'll be able to get to know. If you want to keep practicing, it's okay to keep doing this over and over again, and then you'll find that it's easier when you're doing first do the arrows if you're still having difficulties. After that, to get a better grip on how to use the brush pressure, just keep practicing again. Think of your brush tip being a ballpoint. So then when you're applying the pressure, try to just lift your hand a little bit and go gently on it so you won't have that amount of pressure. But then when you're going down, use that amount of pressure, like you're actually putting pressure on something. All right, is everybody done with their alphabet?
We had a few people ask if you could show the lowercase one more time as well, just so they could take a picture of it to use later. I know the class will be shared on michaels.com/classes, so they could learn again, but just for now. Thank you so much.
Yep, and I will do the same thing here, just kind of give you a tip with the arrow, showing you how you can kind of think of it. There you go. You can take a screenshot. And there you go. Great. So now we're going to go to the exciting part of the class, which is doing your little quote. This is my finished piece, but I will show you how to do it step by step, so no worries on that. Okay, get another sheet. And then for this one, if you have a ruler in hand, go ahead and grab it. If you do not have a ruler in hand, it's okay to just use your dotted kind of lines and kind of just go over lightly to make a line. Again, it doesn't have to be super straight, but go ahead and do that. I will say, try to kind of just go, if you can, a little bit on the center of your page. That way you have enough room. Okay, so I'll start. So this is the same thing as we did with the alphabet. Honestly, just go think about when you're drawing the letters, and think about like you're going up or either you're going down. And if it'll help you at the end, you can use a pencil and kind of just show your arrows For this one, I will encourage you to write like very flowy. And not lift your pencil, just so you can kind of get the idea of your hand moving. So we'll go ahead and start with the T. Again, I know you're using the dotted paper, but you don't have to force yourself to go on each dot. This is more, for me, it kind of helps me sometimes to see the separation of the letters, or it will help you go up and down and kind of just have a little bit of a grid. But again, do not be very strict with yourself. And don't be afraid, like see here, my hand kind of was a little shaky. Don't be afraid to erase. It's okay if you make a little bit of mistake and you just want to kind of go over and correct yourself. So I'm going down here, and that is kind of like helping me visualize where my strokes are going to be.
Hey, Anna, we had somebody ask if they want to hand letter on wood, what would you recommend? Do you recommend any specific markers or pens or anything like that?
I haven't done any wood pieces, but Sharpies work on every surface, so I think you're fine going with a Sharpie. And you can also use your pencil as well on the wood to kind of just see what you're writing and then go over it. I would, for the wood piece though, one of my recommendations when I have done illustrations or anything on wood, I kind of sand it down so then I have a very clean and smooth surface, and that'll allow you, and then after you sand it down, it's kind of like you're erasing, right? So you have these little pieces that you see that you get. So just kind of make sure that you clean it, and then go over it with whatever marker you want to use or any paint you want to use. And Sharpie paint is actually amazing. I've done a lot of work with Sharpie paint, and I mean, it is a little bit different because you don't have the brush stroke, but it will give you the ability to do thick and thin lines as well. All right, so now that you have that portion of it, go ahead and select a color. For my base, I would like to go, or for anybody who has a brighter or light color, I will use my pink, but anybody can use like either yellow or orange, but try to make it lighter than what your shadow portion will be.
And Anna, somebody asked if you could show a close-up really quickly of the Sharpie brush pen that you're using.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay, so this one, just go ahead and start doing very freely, but think about your up strokes and then your down strokes. It's okay to lift when you're doing your pencil. I did want it to go very flowy for you, but when you're using your brush marker, it's okay to just kind of lift your marker brush as you're going up and down. Also, quick note, it's okay for you to not sometimes when you're doing this, maybe you might not be on the exact same line as your pencil. It's okay because you're gonna be able to erase it afterwards. So not a big deal on that. You can see that with my Sharpie brush, currently my thicker strokes are a little bit lighter. So don't worry about that. You can achieve a thicker stroke or the amount of thickness you want by later, after you do it once, just applying a little bit more on your drawing, the lettering, the pressure again. So you can go over it as many times as you want to just kind of make it thicker. And this will allow you to see a lot more of the difference from your thick to thin lines. So after you've done that, go ahead and do your second word. You can either keep your same Sharpie brush or you can change colors, but always do a lighter base to it. Again, it's all about having fun. All right, so once I finish doing this, I will go again, and on the strokes that were down, I will go again and just kind of trace them over so I can get a more of a thickness to the letters. And it's okay if you feel like it's not perfect. It's perfectly fine because at the end of the day, like I said, once you learn, you'll find that you have your own style and you can easily correct however you want to. No big deal on that. All right. Once we have that, we'll go, I like to get more of a 3D, I think of this as my vase and like a cookie cutter type of thing. So I will go again with my pencil and kind of just go over. On this one, it's okay if I don't get like every edge very perfect because again, it's just kind of like the style that you want. So you'll go here and trace again. It's okay if you didn't get it perfect and you want to go over it and just kind of like, oh, this is not how I want it, and just erase. It's not an issue. Just keep going. And again, if you do want to stop at just having your thick and thin lines like this, it's perfectly fine. You can still add your different embellishments like I do, or leave it very simple. I'm just kind of showing you how to go a little bit more of over 3D style. All right, so after you have your other line, go ahead and I'm going to use, again, my pink Papermate Flair. And I'll just go down and over the lines, but again, you will find that not always you'll have the same line, but at least it'll give you an idea of kind of where to go and follow. It's okay to lift your pen. See right there, I'm not exactly on the line that I drew on the pencil, but it is okay. And again, right now, I am not using my brush. I'm using my Papermate Flair, and it's my medium tip. Like I said, don't worry about hitting the line that you drew. It's kind of more, think of your line as a guide.
Anna, we had somebody ask, what is your favorite thing that you've designed for Sharpie or Papermate?
For Sharpie, I think one of the best things or experiences was doing the Sharpie adult coloring book. That was an amazing, awesome experience because not only did I work with different graphic designers and illustrators, but just leading the team and having like the vision and then being kind of like the art director and executing it. That was pretty fun. I think this was like 3 years ago was the project, but it was one of my favorite projects because actually all I did was illustration.
Awesome. And I think your phone may have gone black.
It did. Is it now?
Yes, we're good to go.
Can you guys still see my screen?
It's frozen for us right now. It may have disconnected.
You just let me know when it lets you back in. I can try to search for it.
It's connecting.
Okay.
I think maybe while we're trying to get the camera back and running, if everybody could show us what they've been working on during the class, if you guys want to hold up the different things you've been trying.
Yeah,
These
even
are
if it's
awesome.
just the alphabet.
Yeah, I love how people are using different quotes and practicing with what the different letters that they've learned. Anna, you're obviously a great teacher. These are awesome. Everybody's doing a great job.
Hey, Anna, is there any way you could rename your iPhone? Because I don't know which one is yours.
How do I do that?
Let me see.
These are so great. Everybody got so creative.
Let me see if I can.
These look awesome.
Okay, you should be able to rename yourself now. I want to see what everybody's alphabets look like. Oh, I think I found it. Haha, got it. You're good.
Is it showing? Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect.
This is bright colors.
Great. Okay. So we'll continue this with the trust word, and I'll just show you quickly. So after you've done this, we want to go again, and for shadows, my light source will come from this side, from my left side. So I'm going to think of my shadows and then go like this, and I'll draw them with my pencil.
I can't see the far end of your paper yet. There you go.
So I'll draw them with my pencil. And then once I'm kind of done, what I like to do is I'll go over with my Sharpie brush just because it's very easier and faster to finish. So you can go like this. And again, if you're really scared of kind of like the shadow and messing up, you can always use your Flair black marker, and that'll be very easy. It'll be easier for you guys. So you can always use this one. It might take a little longer to fill in, but it can be a little bit more precise. And again, like if your hands are a little bit shaky, the Flair marker might be a little bit better for you guys to use. So you can kind of start seeing how this is creating a 3D effect. Go in. I'll go in again and just kind of coloring it to get that 3D effect.
Anna, do you mind just repeating what marker you're using for the shadowing effect right now? Everybody's really liking it.
Yeah, I'm using, again, my Sharpie pen brush. And if it's, like I said, sometimes it can be a little tricky for you guys to determine how much pressure to put, because I know it is kind of like a little, like a trickier point, because it's almost reflecting a brush. So just kind of lightly do it. But if you are scared of this, it's okay to go ahead and use your Papermate Flair. And you'll trace it and then color in. It might take a little longer, like I said, but no big deal on that. It's just for you to be a little bit more precise if you want and you're scared of using the Sharpie brush. When I am doing this, I like to think it like I'm painting and I'm using a brush. So sometimes I'll do this like little swoosh, swoosh, swoosh sound, and it kind of just helps me just go down and know how much pressure I want to apply on it. And again here. So now that I have this, what I like to do, and again, if you don't have this, it's okay, no big deal. Oops, I forgot one shadow here. If you don't have this, it's no big deal, but if I want to get it more 3D looking than what I have, sometimes I'll shadow it with a pencil a little bit more, and it creates a little bit more of a pop. You can always also use either a Papermate Flair gray, and if you don't have that, you can use Prismacolor to create that light shade. I like to use the lighter color, but you can see it's just giving it a little bit more of a punch. It's not filling it, but just giving it that extra punch of 3D. And on this one, no rules on pressure, just kind of going through it. And that'll help you. You can see how it kind of just elevates it because it creates a little bit of a extra shadow there.
And Anna, do you mind just really quickly going back through how you selected your light source and go over where that led you to your shading, if you don't mind?
Yeah, it's from my left side. So when it's from your left, you got to think of it like the light is shining. So you'll see like my light will start popping here. You can see my lines. So then you'll see kind of, obviously you won't have it on the top, but you'll have it on the bottom. And then if your light source is coming here, it'll be reversed because my light is shining through here, so I won't have the shadows. But I tend to pick my left side just because it's a little bit easier. I have a little bit of a cheat sheet that I did for beforehand just to kind of show you with like dimensional letters. If you guys want to take a screenshot and also kind of practice how your shadows are going. So you can see it's just reversed. I like the left side because it's usually how most of the letters is, but yes, just something that has helped me understand shadowing is I will go through elements and go into a dark room and kind of just, if you put your pencil down and then shine a light through it, then you'll see where the different lighting can come from, and that'll help you practice your shading. Put an object down and then put a light on, and then if my light is here, I'll have the shadows casting. You can see here I have a shadow here because my light right now is coming through my left side. But screenshot, practice. And like I said, if you want extra practice in shadowing, put yourself in a room that doesn't have a ton of light, and that'll help you, quickly just kind of understand the different light perspective.
Thank you. And then we've had a few people that have to log off because it's 3, but would you mind just quickly holding up the finished product so people can screenshot that as well and finish up on their own time?
Yes, sure thing.
Thank you.
There you go. So again, what I did extra here, I use little, like to do little embellishments to kind of just have it really finished. I used to do the embellishments, these Sharpie Flair markers, because it's just easier. And then I also, in order to do the little metallic ones, I like to use my Prismacolor Premier metallic markers, and that'll allow you to have some poppy and metallic finishes to it. But I hope you all have enjoyed the class, and yeah, maybe you got a little bit more comfortable with hand lettering. And again, please post your Sharpie artwork that you did today at Sharpie #MakeItWithMichaels. Again, at Sharpie #MakeItWithMichaels, and then tune in on our next class on October 5th. I hope you really enjoyed the class and it was awesome and it got you not so scared to try this again. See you next time.